I've gotten quite a few questions from some of my colleagues about how in the heck do you make all those teaching videos. And so this is my attempt to try to explain it to the best of my ability on making screencasts. That's really what those videos are really called, because they have specialized software to capture video that's really on your screen. Whatever happens on your screen, you can record it, whether it be a movie, whether it be your PowerPoint, your desktop, whatever it is. If it's there, it can record it. So I'm going to concentrate on two things today: software and then hardware. I'm going to start with hardware first, because that's kind of the heart of screencasts. And there are three devices that you can use. Obviously, the first one is a computer. And in particular, with newer computers, I would really recommend a good HD camera and HD sound or audio, because I think a lot of times when you get the add-ons, like on some of the external mics or external cameras, they're not quite as high quality. So I would really kind of stick with that. Laptops are really handy just because they're so mobile. The desktop ones gives you a little bit more power and storage. Excuse me. So I would definitely recommend any of one of those three. I like using the desktop just because of the storage and the power that it has. But that's just my preference. The next thing is this drawing tablet or graphics tablet. And the reason I like this particular one that I have is because it has some buttons. On this picture that I have on the screen, it doesn't have the buttons, but most of the buttons kind of appear right about there. And the buttons allow me anyway to change colors and functions. I have kind of an erase button that's located here, and then these are the colors. I just click on those and it allows me to change the function kind of on the fly. This isn't really necessary, because like PowerPoint has some annotation software kind of built into it, and you can use that, but you use your mouse to do it. And I'm not very talented with the mouse and be able to maybe write words or arrows or that kind of thing, so that could be a little bit cumbersome. This makes it relatively easy for me. Now, when we look at the software, that's kind of the soul of it all, and really, you don't have to necessarily just use Keynote and PowerPoint, but that's really the main ones right here. So Keynote and PowerPoint are kind of the main presentation software that I use. That way I can roll text on the screen and change pictures and do a variety of other kind of cool, kind of graphic kind of things that I can't do because I'm not a very good artist. But Keynote and PowerPoint allow you to do that. But I mean, you could use the background of your screen. You could use the desktop of your screen, especially if you're doing mathematical calculations. You know, I get maybe a white screen, and then that way you can do the calculations on it. But the other thing that I've learned to do as well is I'm started to use some of my software. Like here's an app that I got off of the internet, and it talks about DNA structure. And so I can use this software to make a screencast, and I can write on it, and I can put my pretty face on it and talk about DNA structure. So you can kind of be creative with the software, but primarily Keynote and PowerPoint are my two major ones. Now another has come on the scene lately. It's called Prezi. It's kind of an interesting one. It allows you to kind of fly around the screen, zoom in, zoom out, just going not necessarily in a linear pattern in it. And I think it has a lot of promise, especially with the different templates they have on it. You should check it out. It's Prezi.com. It costs $60 a year if you're an educator. So I would definitely maybe download a demo and see how you like it. And then another piece of software is kind of the ink that runs all of this stuff on my graphics tablet. Like it allows me to change colors, and it's free. That's the great thing about OmniDazzle. OmniDazzle is a free ink. Allows me to use my pen on my tablet, just like a whiteboard marker, or you know, piece of chalk or whatever it might be. So that's for free. So OmniDazzle is probably a good stop for you. This next one is the screen capture software. And there's a lot of different choices when it comes to that. There's obviously the free ones like Screencast-O-Matic, Screen Toaster, but probably the easiest one to use is probably Screener. Screener is pretty intuitive. You just hit record, there you are. You can do a couple of things with it, but it's really no nonsense, very intuitive. And if you want to start there to see if you like it for free, you don't need all the necessary things that I talked about. Basically, just a computer, and you can kind of go from there. So, but then I have the not so free category, and most screencasters that I've seen and watched, Camtasia is kind of their choice. But I use ScreenFlow. They're both $99. You can get them both on the Apple App Store. But both of them do pretty much the same thing. Once you capture it, then you can do some editing, add special features, some graphic effects, and lots of support on YouTube as far as tutorials if you want to become an expert in that area. So that's the software. Some quick hints. I'm not going to talk about each one of them, but just some ones that probably are important. Number one, keep it about 10 minutes. Definitely show your face. Kids love seeing your face because they kind of laugh at you and say, "Oh my word, Mr. Dawson, I saw what you did. That was crazy." They're kind of like, I think, seeing us make fools of ourselves. So it's kind of entertainment for them. I wouldn't put music on this at all. Watch your lighting. Obviously, this is the thing. One of the things I struggle with all the time because I'm in a pretty not a well lit room, and so I've got to improve some of my my lighting. And understand, every 5 minutes you're going to take an hour of editing and uploading and a variety of other things. So those are just some hints that once you get started, you ought to keep in mind. I hope this has helped you kind of get started, and you really, the sky's the limit. You can take a lot of your PowerPoints that you use for years and convert them and make them nice and fresh with your pretty face on it. I hope you'll take this information and use it to your advantage. And happy screencasting. We'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.